Base camp is coming apart. More weather woes high on the mountain. The X-Men have returned to Everest Base Camp and even Kathmandu, where they're having pizza without us. I'm also in Kathmandu, and I'm Ben Ayers. This is your Everest.Live Daily Dispatch for May 22nd. As you noticed, I am no longer in Everest Base Camp. It came as a surprise to me as well, not gonna lie. Yesterday morning, our outfitter, Seven Summits Treks, who've done an excellent job, they just sort of informed us that our best chance to get out on a hilly would be in a few hours from when we were informed that it was our best chance to get out. And so the next thing we knew, we were dragging our bags to the helipad. Really moments after we finished yesterday's dispatch, we began this long journey which brought us back here to Kathmandu. We were informed this morning by our few friends back at Everest Base Camp that most of the Seven Summits camp has already been dismantled this morning, and they're putting together sort of a skeleton camp for the few remaining climbers that are high on the mountain. I think this is pretty customary across base camp. For me, it's been really surprising to see there was like all this buildup, all this buildup, all this buildup. People go up on the mountain, and then it's just like over. Like the tents just started coming apart almost immediately. I think some of that is that the season, like sort of the end of the season is like upon us, but also some of it is when you're at base camp, you feel like you're stuck in this perpetual liminal state where time and reality doesn't exist. Having come back to Kathmandu, another motivation for me to take them up on their offer was I also realized I was living in a liminal space where my health didn't really exist. And so as soon as I finish this dispatch, I'm heading to the hospital to figure out what the hell is going on with my voice. But enough about us. What's happening in the mountain is that there was a number of teams up at Camp 4 last night that did not proceed to the summit due to high winds and bad weather. Right now we are supposed to be moving into, like tomorrow, is supposed to be the beginning of, some say the last good weather window. People on the north side are saying it's the first good weather window. But the best weather is supposed to be starting now. This is supposed to be that one last brilliant week that happens every year on Mount Everest, where people get to go up to the summit alone and they talk about what a bunch of idiots everybody else was who fought the crowds. But the jet stream may not cooperate with that this year. It's still hanging over Nepal, sending off those little spurs of high winds. And the latest weather report from this afternoon was saying that we're supposed to see really high winds up until the 25th. However, that's not stopping the expeditions that are up there. I think they're going to wait, see if they can get lucky and sneak up between major gusts. That also includes Tyler Andrews and Karl Egelhoff, who are two ultra runners, sky runners that are competing. They're two sky runners that are competing for the fastest known time up Mount Everest. I texted with Tyler this morning, and he announced officially that on the 23rd, which is tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m., he will be departing base camp for his second FKT attempt. His first one, his boot broke and he had to turn around. You can read about it in my Outside article. But this one, he's going to try to set the fastest record for going from base camp to the summit without oxygen. And hot on his heels will be his mentor, Karl Egelhoff, who's also trying to break the same record or his record or do the same thing. So that's kind of the news on the mountain. We've got some stragglers, a few less left climbers, but it's really all kind of winding up now. Charlie, our cameraman, who's usually behind the camera, is also going to give you an update about his attempt to be the sole greeter of the X-Men when they return to the Kathmandu airport. But he actually found himself in the middle of something more interesting and maybe a little more exciting too. So stay tuned for that coming up. Last thing I want to say is, even though I am going to the hospital and we're in Kathmandu and I ate a mango this morning, which totally changed my life, we are going to keep posting daily. We're still connected with everybody on the mountain. We're also going to be doing reporting and interviews from here in Kathmandu. We're going to bring you through the end of the season over the next week or so. And another good thing of being back a little earlier or quicker than expected is we have a ton of content that we were shooting up at base camp. Interviews with Lukas Furtenbach, Purnima Shrestha, all sorts of interesting people and characters, the doctors at the HRA Med Clinic. There's so much more information about Everest that Charlie and I were just too tired and too sick to like edit into something coherent and entertaining. But now that we're eating mangoes here in Kathmandu, we're going to be able to do that for you. So stay tuned because the content's actually only going to get better. That's the Daily Dispatch for today. I'll tell you what the doctors said to me tomorrow, hopefully.